Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Come on in here and sit down with me. This is your home, for organic Bible study that's fresh and delicious. We've got a table set just for you today here in Psalm 119. The Iron Division, which is the 16th section in Psalm 119. And today we're going to look at verses 122 and 123. 121 opened this section for us. We're talking about the servant, and we talked about that idea of how does a servant behave? Well, this servant says, I've done justice and righteousness, which of course is right in line. If you're going to serve a holy God, these are two of his characteristics. You're probably going to act in that way because justice and righteousness really is more about the outward behavior. So how you're treating others, other servants, other people, even those within the household of faith. So I've done justice and righteousness, he says there, abandon me not to my oppressors. So there are people that are oppressing him. Remember I asked yesterday, have you ever prayed the prayer or asked the question, why me? You're doing right. How come you have oppressors? Well, this servant says, I have oppressors. Abandon me not to my oppressors. Why are they oppressing him? Because the devil hates and despises the character of God if it's displayed in any man or woman, no matter who it is. Now today we look at 122 and 123, and we read these words. Pledge good to your servant. Do not let the insolent oppress me. My eyes fail for your salvation and for your righteous word. Pledge good. The King James has be surety for thy servant. That is, make sure. Pledge good. The idea here is that in the midst of oppression, that the Lord would continue to support the servant who's doing justice and righteousness. And then he says there in the B part of 22, do not let the insolent oppress me. So here we have another one of those do not statements. We had it last week in 116. And I see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8th one. So 8 times we have a do not statement. And let me find my list real quick. And we'll read through some of those. Yeah. In verse 8, do not forsake me utterly. In verse 10, do not lead me astray from your commandments. In verse 19, do not conceal from me your commandments. In verse 31, do not let me be put to shame. Verse 36, do not incline my heart to unjust gain. Verse 43, do not snatch away from my mouth the word of truth. And then in verse 116, do not put my hope to shame. And now today we have, do not let the insolent oppress me. My goodness, I just think all of these do not statements are wonderful prayers, don't you? Do not let the insolent oppress me. Or let's see what the King James has here. The proud. Yeah. Do not let the proud. Well, of course, the oppressors are proud, aren't they? They're proud of their oppression. They're proud of the fact that they are hurting the man of God. Insolent oppressing is something that they would be proud of. Verse 123 says, my eyes fail for your salvation and for your righteous word. Don't you know that servant who's being oppressed, who's asking how long or saying why me, feels like things are failing. My eyes fail for your salvation. When are you going to save me from this mess? That's kind of the thing that we ask, isn't it? You're going to save me from this? Hello? Is anybody there? I'm being oppressed. I'm living right, and yet I'm being oppressed. How come? Let my eyes fail for your salvation. He's looking, he can't see it. And for your righteous word. He wants a final word on his oppressors. He doesn't have it yet. So the servant, pledge good to your servant. Remember, this is the servant division. Pledge good to your servant. And my eyes fail for salvation. So I've got a problem here. The oppressor oppresses, and I need your righteous word. I need that final statement on this oppression. All right, join me tomorrow. We're going to look at verses 124 and 125 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.